Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today on A Virgo Talks Menopause I'm going to be talking about can deep breathing help perimenopause and menopause symptoms. If you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. So are you looking for a quick fix, something that's going to help literally on the spot to help you with your physical and emotional symptoms in the perimenopause and the menopause? If so, then practicing slow, structured breathing can be quite fantastic. So what I'm going to do today is look at the benefits of this easy self-care routine. Everybody can do it. You can practice it on a daily basis, and it can become part of your immediate response when you find things that are happening. So this, probably the deep breathing, for those of you that have been watching for a while, I often mention the slow deep breathing nearly as much as I mention how important drinking water is. So let's have a look at the benefits of this deep breathing. So number one is stress reduction and stress control. And we know in the perimenopause and menopause, anxiety and stress can pop up. It can just appear very suddenly, or sometimes you find it kind of creeping up. And when you're in the stress response, you do much more shallow breathing. So you'll do sort of quick breathing just with this part of the lungs. And this is really bad for you because it actually prolongs the stress response. So what deep and slow breathing does is it activates what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, and this is the calming one. So if you're in a state of anxiety and stress and you click on the parasympathetic nervous system, it switches everything to relaxation. So this is a really lovely one to get out of the anxiety and stress very, very quickly, and to do something that's going to make you relax and feel much more in control. And this is a fabulous one for those of you that tend to experience panic attacks that just come out of nowhere, or you might feel that they're just sort of boiling up over a few minutes. It can improve your sleep, and we know that sleep is probably one of the biggest factors, or poor sleep, in the perimenopause and menopause. So this exercise can be done when you get into bed. So rather than counting sheep to try and get you off to sleep, you can do the slow deep breathing. It's going to relax you. It's going to promote a better, deeper, longer sleep as well, which is absolutely fantastic. It can help with hot flushes and night sweats. So what can happen here? Again, very often flushes and night sweats can be triggered by your nervous system basically just going into overdrive, or being triggered by something that you don't even realize. So if you feel your hot flush coming up, and sometimes they can take a minute or two before they really strike. So this is the point where you can get in, practice the slow deep breathing. You're going to override that nervous response. You're going to be calmer. And when you're calmer, you're less likely to get a full hot flush or night sweat. And this deep breathing can actually help to reduce the intensity and also the frequency of hot flushes and sweats. It can be a mood regulator. It's great for your emotional well-being. It helps to lift you up. It helps you to just feel in a better mood generally. And the deep breathing, it can release things called endorphins. And these are chemicals that are natural mood boosters. So you don't need tablets or anything to help. Just the deep breathing can get that whole process moving. It can improve lung function. And one of the things that happens in the perimenopause and menopause is there's lots of different things can affect lung function. So our lung capacity can decrease. So we can end up getting things like breathlessness and wheeziness, and also, again, the shallow breathing, which isn't very good for us. So this is going to help to improve lung capacity and also help with your exercises as well. It can also help your heart health because, again, Stress and anxiety can raise blood pressure. So if you're doing the deep breathing, if you're more often in a relaxed state, that can help prevent high blood pressure, and also it can help to reduce your heart rate as well. So this is a really important one, because unfortunately, post-menopause women are much more prone to things like heart disease and heart attacks. It can actually help cognitive function. And I know at the moment I'm getting so many of you are having big issues with brain fog, with memory, with poor recollection. And very often it's just lack of oxygen. So the deep breathing is going to help, especially when you get to that point in the day where you find that you're getting the foggy brain or you're getting really tired. And again, fatigue is another issue. If you're not breathing deep enough, you're not going to get oxygen around the body and you're going to feel tired generally. So this is a great one for improving brain function, and if you end up getting fatigue and these sort of energy dips maybe in the afternoon. So the breathing techniques, there's lots of different ones. I mean, maybe go onto YouTube and have a look at some of the breathing exercises. The really important thing here is you have to practice every day. It has to get to the point where you don't even have to think about doing it. You're in a situation, you feel a hot flush coming on, and immediately you're into the deep breathing. So really practice this at least once a day. And you can do it when you're maybe watching the TV, if you're waiting for the bus, if you're doing something that doesn't involve a lot of concentration and also focus. Remember to do it somewhere quiet so that you're not being disturbed halfway through. And good posture is really important. If you're slumped like this, your lungs can't actually move very far at all. So when you're practicing the deep breathing, definitely sit up, shoulders back, and that can make a huge bit of difference. So one of the really nice breathing techniques is called the 4x4 or the box method. And this method can be so effective. It's even used in a lot of organizations where people are under a huge amount of stress, and even by the US Navy SEALs. So it's certainly got a great list of endorsement. So it's really simple. All you need to do is that you breathe in very, very slowly, counting 1, 2, 3, 4. You hold your breath for the count of 4, and then you slowly exhale for a count of 4, and then you hold the breath or the empty lungs for a count of 4, and just do that a few times. You may find to start with, especially if your lungs are not used to being filled right up with oxygen, you might get a little bit dizzy. If you do, just stop, and then when everything's okay, just start again. Maybe you can only do 1 or 2 rounds to start with. But as I said, you want to get to the point where you can bring this in really, really quickly without even thinking, and it can make a huge difference. So I hope you found this one helpful. I know it's something that I use one way or another on a regular basis just to help me focus and cope and not have a lot of stress and anxiety. If any of you out there have used any particular breathing techniques that you have found really helpful, then please share your stories with us. I'd love to read them all. And until then, I'll see you next week for another edition of A. Vogel Talks Menopause.